How to successfully let go of victim mentality. It's the road to riches. This video is going to be a little bit different. I want you to think of it as if you're having a one-to-one session with me. Something happened to me last week, and if you know anything about me, I always like to look at what is the lesson that I can take away from this? How can I turn this into something that is powerful and will help me grow from this experience? That's an abundance mindset thought. Grab your tea and let's chat, because this conversation could be the thing that helps you expand into a greater awareness of more wealth coming into your life. I created this channel to help you step into wealth unapologetically. If you're ready to be unapologetic about the wealth that you desire, then go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you can be notified when I'm dropping a new video, because being in this frequency is how we expand into more money. Okay, so last week I was heading to the gym, and as I was gonna head into the garage, I decided to go back and grab this recycling that I saw my kids leave there. I thought, it's my son's job, let me grab it, because I'm on my way out. I was ready to go to the gym. I had a long day, and I went back to grab it, and as I was coming out, I was a little bit, rushy. I hit the ground, both knees on the cement, concrete. And it was the hardest fall I'd had in so long. My son had left a box that I had purchased from him from Amazon, a pair of shoes for a party he was going to in the city. And I bought him 2 pairs, and he left the box right there at the bottom of the stairs. Now, I had seen that box before, but it was right at the bottom. But because I had the bag of stuff in my hand, and my other hand was filled with stuff for the gym, I didn't break my fall, and I couldn't see what was below me. So down I went. And as I was hit the ground, oh my gosh, I hit so hard. I was laying there in the concrete. Like I just wanted to cry. I wanted to be mad. I was so upset. Like my knee still hurts. This was 2 weeks ago, actually now. My knee still hurts. And I wanted to be mad at somebody. I wanted someone to take the blame. I wanted someone to take away the pain that I was feeling. Someone had to pay for this, Yes, my son was, careless in leaving the box there, but also I saw it there, so I could have moved it too. So is a blame going to take away what I was feeling? So as I was, laying there having these thoughts, and I got up and I was crying and no one was around, and I said to myself, this sucks. Why did I have to fall? I was doing a good deed, and they say no good deed goes unpunished, right? I was heading to the gym, sticking to my routine, oh my gosh, why would this happen? Finally, I was feeling, because I had been suffering with a hip injury, and I was feeling finally go back to the gym again. I was having amazing workouts. Why would this happen to me? And so my old mindset and patterning wanted to go down this rabbit hole of blame and of somebody needed to pay for this. And I caught myself, and I'm like, okay, I could sit here and blame my son. I can blame all these things, what happened, or I could just decide it was a fluke incident. Maybe it was just something that just happened. Maybe it was telling me to slow down. Maybe I should have gone earlier in the day. Maybe so many different factors could have been changed that would change the outcome of what happened. Maybe I wasn't supposed to get up and go to the gym in that moment. Maybe there was something that was saving me from. I have no idea. Because I'd worked on my emotions for so many years, over a decade now, I mastered my emotional response I could have at the situation. I could decide what I wanted to feel about the situation and how it was going to eat at me or how it was going to make me feel okay. I was able to be mad, be upset, and process it, and not let it mean something forever and have resentment or need somebody to pay, or go on the internet and tell everybody what happened to me, have people feel sorry for me. I didn't need to do all of these things anymore. It just was a fluke incident. It happened. I get to process it. That's being emotionally mastered. And I'll tell you why this is so important for creating more wealth. I'll tell you why being able to be in that state of being after something so horrific that happened to me. By the way, I just booked a trip for the kids and I to go somewhere where it involves a lot of walking. And I was like, what are the odds of this happening? Why did this happen right after the day that I booked this trip? I'm here excited about going away. Can I even walk? Because there's going to be tons of walking every day. So I was already piling up all the things and the reasons why, why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to me? Kind of mindset. What happens when people are going down this rabbit hole? Because some people can't stop themselves. They'll go into the whole victim mindset will pop out, right? And it's like a chain reaction, like dominoes. And then they start thinking the whole world's against them. They start remembering all the other times where something happened that didn't go right for them. They start piling up because those things are readily available for you to pop in on. Like, remember when this happened? Remember that happened? Remember how unfair life is? Remember all the things that can go wrong? And then here we go right now. The victim has MO. Poor me, poor me, poor me. I'll tell you why this is so destructive. And this is one of the top reasons why people are not either having money or they're not making money and keeping money, because they start looking for all the things that went wrong. Because now we have evidence. Look at this. We fell down the stairs. I have evidence. I'm telling you right now, look what happened to me. But how long do you want to sit there and decide that this incident is going to take power over your life? How long are you going to let that unfortunate accident or that situation that maybe could have been avoidable? Maybe if I didn't grab the garbage, would I have fallen down? I don't know, probably not. But I can't go back and replay that. I can't sit there and think about how I can change things. All I know is I'm going to be more careful going down the stairs moving forward, because things happened. Things are going to happen every single day in our lives. It's how we manage them. It's how we look at them. How we're able to navigate them will dictate what kind of mastery we have in our lives. When you have mastery over yourself, you have mastery over money. So by looking at all the things that are going wrong, we've got that negative mindset primed and ready to go. You cannot be in abundance and lack and scarcity and negative mindset at the same time. Being able to navigate a situation that comes up, maybe it's not falling in the garage, maybe some unforeseen expense comes up. How are you going to look at things and start seeing them in a different light? Because if you allow yourself to let a single moment be able to be multiplied and compounded every single day of your life until the end of time, about what happened to you at this time and point in time in your life, you're literally burning your money. You're throwing your money away. It's like, here, money, let me just toss the money on the way. Like, throw the money away, because you're putting yourself into that lack scarcity mindset. Remember, when people are in lack and scarcity, they cannot call in more wealth into their lives. You cannot bring in more abundance when you're thinking from a scarcity, what's missing, look at me, what's happened, what's gone wrong. So I knew from doing this work and teaching it, I could let that incident in the garage be something that I sat there, pined over, called everybody up, told everybody on the internet, expressed all the things that happened to me. I could make it be something bigger than it was, or I could sit there, be upset that it happened, talk about my needs to be on being healed, with somebody who can help me with it. Let myself go through that process, allow myself to feel what I was feeling, because our emotions, get to be felt, and then decide what I wanted to feel about it afterwards. I have a decision to make. Do I let this keep going on, leaking over into my life everywhere, pouring everywhere, everything I touched with that one incident being a negative opportunity, a scarcity, victim mindset? If I keep doing that, what benefit would it give me? It wouldn't benefit me. It would affect all the other things that were going on in my life, the cash flow coming into my space. So I know I need to figure out what I was feeling, journal it out, allow myself to feel. And this is where the emotional mastery portion comes in. Because until you can learn to master emotions, none of that's possible. Because subconsciously, you'll always remember, look what they did. Look what happened to me. And you'll keep replaying that story back over and over again. And then that story will find friends to come together. So the story gets even bigger and bigger. And then you start attracting more of those types of stories. So then you attract more and more and more of the poor me stories. And we don't want to do that. We want you to be the most powerful place to really create your reality, call in the type of money that you want, grow and grow and grow, and evolve into the most powerful, masterful version of yourself that you can possibly be in this lifetime. So what I decided to do is assign a different meaning to what happened. Number one, that's what I would do. We assign meaning to everything. We could say, wow, that was a sign, something, negative or positive. It meant this. Oh my goodness. Or we can just decide it was a fluke. It was just an accident that happened. Whatever you assign meaning to is your truth. So if you decide something is, the be all end all, only way it's got to be, then that's the decision you're going to make about how things are going to be in your life. That's why when people say that something's hard, I'll agree with them. Sure, it's hard. Whatever you decide and feel, I'll agree with you. I'm not here to convince people to think something differently. I'm here to show you there's a way of thinking and feeling and doing things in a different way. But when people are, adamant, this is the only way, this is how it has to be, you're right? But I decided for myself, for that situation, to decide it was just a fluke. That's the meaning I was going to assign to it. It wasn't going to affect me. My knees were going to heal. And by the way, my knees are healing a lot faster. It wasn't going to mean anything to me. It wasn't like I shouldn't go, on my trip. I didn't do that. I didn't make it mean something bigger than it was. I just left it right there, kept it where it was supposed to be, because I knew my main state of being was more powerful and more beneficial for me to be in. I'm going to let this go because I want to attract more abundance into my life. I knew that I could let these little different incidents or big affect me and change the alignment that I was in, change the frequency I'm in, or decide what I want to feel about that situation and come back to this main person who I'm being, this energetic frequency that I've worked so many years on, make sure that it stays maintained, knowing that it attracts all the wealth and opportunities and all the things in my life, knowing that this is the beacon, this is like the lighthouse. Keep it here and work on how do I process the other stuff, because there's work, it's not bypassing. This is it, because this is what we attract from. So what I want you to do is, if something has gone sideways for you, or you have experienced something where you felt like it was your garage falling down moment, or you were doing a good deed, and I don't even like that saying, no good deed goes unpunished. I don't like that. But maybe you've had a situation like that. What can you do to look at it in such a way that, you know what, that happened. That happened. I'm going to be mad about it for a minute. I'm going to scribble down some stuff in my journal. I'm going to let it out, get the emotions out. And you know what? I'm going to choose to move forward, because the rest of my life, the rest of what I have to create in this time, space reality that I'm in right now, I want it to be so amazing. I'm not going to keep letting the past steal from my present and my future, because I know what I want to create starts with me, because who I'm being is what I'm attracting into my life. So who do I want to be? A woman and a man that processes things quickly, or a woman and a man that is allowing myself to not let things weigh me down or let it mean more than what it is? We've got to work on that, because if we want more wealth in our lives, we want to have the riches, we have to be able to understand that right now, the things that we can be positive about, the things that we can be in abundance about and look at in such a way that, you know what, it happened. Okay. I processed it. I got angry. I moved through it. And here I am now. I'm going to move on from it. You got to be able to move on from things, because if you keep dragging all the things from the past with you, the chances of you quantum leaping or having all of the things that you desire in this lifetime really are nil. So promise me this. Will you start opening up to things and maybe allowing things to let go? Maybe you can drop in the comments things that you're going to let go of, things that you're ready to be open more to receiving of. It's one of the most fascinating ways to rewire an old situation. And I think it was Neville Goddard talks about, I can't remember what it's called, but he has a way of going back and thinking of I can't remember the technique, because I'm not really deep into that work, but it's something that I teach and do in a different way. But you look at an experience and you decide what it means for you. You can look at it and reframe it and let it be what it was. And one thing Dr. Joe says is that we think we remember things correctly from the past, but in fact, we actually remember them incorrectly, because we only remember what we were feeling, but then we start associating it with different things. But really, it's not what we were. If we go back into the time when the incident happened, if we actually gave ourselves a chance to process it all the way out, it probably wouldn't have so much meaning in our lives today. And so many people take things from the past because they haven't processed it all the way out, and they bring it right now into their present, and they wonder why their bank accounts, their incomes, their businesses, whatever it is not growing and evolving the way they want, or their relationships, because they're not allowing themselves to really process through what happened before. So sometimes we remember the past incorrectly. Maybe that could be something that you're opening up to. And this is not to go around saying you're going to forgive everybody for whatever they've done to you, right? We're not doing that. But what we're doing is we're deciding how we want to look at things. We're deciding how we want to feel about things. We're deciding what things really mean, because you've got the power. Okay. If you haven't gone and got my book yet, it goes deep into that. Unlocking the Quantum Woman. We talk about this. I give you exercises on what to do. Oh my gosh, what I just opened up. Everything in your life affects your vibrational frequency, your beingness. This book is going to help you with mastering your emotions. This book is going to teach you how to create in the quantum field. I've got journal prompts in here. It is going to be the best money you've spent ever. And if you haven't listened to our podcast, Unapologetically Rich, go subscribe and listen. And please leave me a review for the book if you loved it, and for the podcast, because I do look at the reviews. And go join our Quantum Woman group. And we've got a lot of freebies below. You can take our quiz, and we've got programs that you can start taking right now to really get yourself into that higher frequency when it comes to money and wealth. And you can message my team at support@shaminataylor.com, and they'll help guide you on what programs to take, because we've got a lot of them. All right, stay tuned for the next video. Bye for now.